Right. Okay. Am I on? Am I on? Hello. Welcome back to the channel, people. KG is back. Match reaction time. It is Capito. It's time to face the music. And here we are again. Here we are again. Man. Right. Leeds United won. I've turned it off early. I'll be honest. Has it finished 6-1? Has it finished 6-1? Because you know what? I don't really want to be here too long today. Yeah, Revenite, your defense is dead. KG, I feel for you. I mean, there's so many things to talk about today. Ben, yeah, I prefer not to speak. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to speak. I'm gonna have to speak. But yeah, 6-1, absolutely sickening. Zachary, there are no positives in this. I'd be amazed if we stay up. What I will say to the last bit, because I can see a lot of people saying that we're going down and everything else like that. We got beat heavily yet again tonight. I mean, real heavy, and we've got to talk about it. But everyone else lost this weekend below us as well. Doesn't matter if they didn't lose 6-1, they still lost. But the problem for me is now our goal difference is back with everyone else's. It was looking really good. It was almost like an extra point. It's gone. It's disappeared. It's absolutely kaput. It's done. What has happened? We're going to talk about a lot of people today, people. And Ainey here. I mean, this was a point I was thinking of through the game. All the teams below us will now have hope. Everybody lost this weekend and thought, "Oh man, I hope Leeds don't get a point." Because even a point today, people, even a point today would have been. It would have been like a hammer blow to the teams below us. Like, oh damn, they lost 5-1 against Palace, but they've come back strong against this Liverpool team. We didn't bounce back. We got bounced today. I cannot believe what these guys have served up tonight. We got to talk about the controversy of the first goal. We do, but you can either wallow in that decision or you can fight against it. And you see which option we took today. Danny here, KG, why not play Verba if fit for the bench? He's fit to play. But we don't know that, Danny. That's the thing. And again, I'm not going to go against what Gracia does in terms of not giving away team news. But if he's going to be on the bench, you do have to start him. He's a defender. It's different. It's a different position. And if he's not fit, don't put him on the bench, because now we're going to get a lot of this. And it's correct as well. If Verba is fit to play him. But you know what? I don't know how much he could have stopped today. I mean, it was a disaster show all over the pitch. It was a disaster all over the pitch. Tony T, no spine in this team, sadly, zero, absolutely zero today. And this is what I was talking about when people were saying about Verba being the most important player, being out of the three, out of him, Nonto, and Adams. I said, nah. We need Adams in there. Adams does all the stuff that people don't really pay attention to. And because when he does it so smoothly, because he does it like a 6, 7, 8 out of 10 most weeks, it goes unnoticed. It goes kind of unsung. But that is so important in the midfield, especially against opponents like today, or even against Palace with Eze and Elise cooking us the way they did. It's so important. We miss him like dearly in that midfield. Mr. P saying the goal difference has dented over the last 2 games. Well, there's a few stats. You know, I gave you a lot when against Palace, how many gifts we was giving out. We're giving out more gifts today, people. Hold on, just hold your horses. Let me get a couple of. Well, it's the first time we've conceded 6 goals in the top 5 league match at Elland Road for the first time in the history ever. So there you go. And what else is it? Leeds have conceded, well, now 11 goals in consecutive top flight home league matches for the first time in the club's history, battered. And that's the LUFC data. At the time, he put 10, but obviously it moved on to 11. I got to tell you the gifts, Carl. I got to tell you the gifts, because it was quite funny seeing some Liverpool fans talking on the timeline like some of their players are back. If only they realize what the tax is that they're paying right there. They're paying some dear old tax on there, aren't they? I hope that their players can continue in the next game. But when you play Leeds, we just give it away. Absolutely, absolutely dreadful today. Ariana here saying Melier was let down tonight. Ariana, Melier was part of the problem today, and we're going to have to talk about him yet again, as I always do here. I have to talk about him yet again because it was shocking today. I don't know if he saved one by the sixth goal because I kind of checked out. I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of checked out by the fifth goal. But up until that point, it was 5 shots on target, 5 goals. Hey, apparently there's a stat going around that he's conceded up until that fifth one 10 goals in the last 10 shots on target. Ariana, he's as much as part of the problem as everyone else. But what I will say is that defending today was absolutely atrocious in front of him. No excuses. The defending today was abysmal. A new right back's needed. Right back, center back, left back. I mean, hey, where do you want to stop? But this isn't that stream. We're going to do the match reaction. Theo saying French hologram. Honestly, we'll talk about it. We'll talk. Lewis is saying Avi not to stay. Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody messaged me when the teams came out and said Javi must be watching the streams. I said not fully, because if it was fully, then we'd start Nanto from the start. Nanto came on at around, was it 5-1 down? Once again, I will repeat it again, and that's why I was never a professional football player. I'm telling the manager where to go. And for anyone that's going to say about Nanto not looking enthusiastic when he came on, he shouldn't be enthusiastic. He's literally been our best attacker this season. And the manager, whatever's happened between those two, nobody knows here. Whatever's happened, though, there's a reason why he's not starting him. And until they get that sorted out, for me, I'm always going to side with Nanto over this Javi Gracia guy. You got to play your best players. Yet again today with Aronson and Harrison. Harrison again now, third game in a row now, people. Since that contract's been signed, quiet time again for Jack Harrison yet again. The one thing of note that I remember him doing was putting in a nice free kick for Rodrigo, who didn't quite get a connection on it. But quiet time yet again. Somerville came on at something like the 69th minute and attacked more than Harrison did in the previous 70. That's how quiet Jack Harrison was today. But it's a collective thing. There's so many holes we can pick at today. I mean, if we're going to keep talking, KG, this manager don't like his attitude, mate. Don't say mate to me and then mention attitude. You cannot be the best player in a team that is like near the bottom of the table and get benched by the new manager. It don't make sense to me. When the previous one has given him a glowing reference, and we know Jesse Marsh used to love to talk. When Jesse Marsh is telling you that this guy is more mature for his years than whatever it may be, that's why he's been getting ahead of other players, and that's why he was getting consecutive starts. That's why the game plans were running through Willie Nanto game after game. We saw it. Like, what are we talking about here? There's no bad attitude. He's upset right now because the manager is not playing the best attacker in the team. Why is it that people can't understand about that? Would you want him to be laughing and joking on the bench while we're getting pummeled and he's sitting on the bench? Would you prefer that? What are we talking about here? Em is saying here, is Javi putting his eggs in one basket, saving Nanto for winnable games? They're all winnable games. There's no such thing as free hit. Listen, prior to this game, we talk about gifts. Here we go again. Let me get this out. Pause. 3 away wins all season for Liverpool. 0 wins in 9 games versus teams outside of the top 6, and that includes Everton and it includes Forest in there and Bournemouth if you want to throw them in. Okay, this wasn't like a game where it's insurmountable. This isn't like we're going to be playing prime Man City today. And even if you did, play your best players. Like it's simple science to me. But whatever is happening between those two, they need to kiss, make up, and he needs to get back out on the pitch. Because if he doesn't start against Fulham, hey, we got more questions for this guy. More questions because he doesn't like to reveal. Hey, listen. Super chats. Thanks for the donations. William is saying no pride for the most part. They want out. This team is weak mentally. Tobes here is saying 1000% agree on Adams. The drop off in intensity and ball winning is evident. McKennie stinks. Stroud, no words. Your defense atrociously awful. This is a Tottenham fan talking. Our fellow Z person here, Spursy, Leedsy. You know what I mean? Handshake, Tobes, handshake. 3 against 4 saying loss of Tyler Adams turned out to be catastrophic. Midfield was invisible defensively in both Palace and Liverpool. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Um, you see, again, Pellegrino, this is this is a result of what's happened to us tonight. But Pellegrino, he's saying Bournemouth have fight. That's correct. Everton have fight. I've been hearing about Everton since they appointed Sean Dyche, like they should be mid-table now. They got 3 wins in 10, and they lost 3-1 at home the other day when on Saturday, when apparently all their home games are going to keep them up. So I hear. I mean, what are we talking about here? Come on, let's be sensible. It's disappointing, but let's not make stuff up here. Alex is saying, KG, we see it, players have given up. Yeah. Mr. P saying, start with your best players always. Nanto, Somerville, Cine, Rodrigo. No wonder Nanto is peed off. Yep, we need to be playing to win against every team. That's what I'm saying. Like this game today against Liverpool, it is Liverpool and it's still a good side on their day. But clearly through the season, they haven't been that good. That's why they are where they are on the table right now. But we turn them back into prime Liverpool today. That's what we do, though. That's what we do. Yes. Darren here saying Aronson cannot start anymore. Like I say, for me, it's you've got to start Nanto, man. And it looks like Sinisterra is going to be out, so maybe Nanto comes back in. Looks like Cine pulled something when he took that shot. And this is the problem. Sinisterra got our goal today, really, really good goal today in terms of just hounding Kanate on his effort. But he's going to be out again, and this is the problem. And this is why Sinisterra was in my 5 disappointments, because we haven't seen enough of him, and we know he's got the talent to do that. He's the one that can get us back into games. But if he's going to be out for another prolonged absence again, it's not a good look. RP saying we started well enough, fell apart after the goal. I think we'll just stay up. Yeah. Ben saying I think we will stay up. I mean, no, Robert. You see, I mean, what we, I'm not gonna like this, Robert. I think you're doing this to rile me up. I think you're doing this to rile me up, innit? Robert's here saying, KG, you're not gonna like this, but Forshaw has to come into the midfield for Fulham to do what, Robert? To do what exactly? Uh, what's he gonna do? The fact that he even came on today with Nanto today, I had it in my notes. I just laughed. I just laughed. We're down to Liverpool and we're bringing on Adam Forshaw. I mean, it just tells you everything, doesn't it? Shout out to Richard Taylor, who's a new member of the channel. Thank you so much, Richard, for the support. Memberships are in the description. Julio here saying there's no on-field leader to pick everyone heads up, motivate, light a fire. Leeds look lifeless. Yeah, I fully agree, Julio. Fully agree. Man. Steely Man here, who I seem to get every notification for. I'm not sure why, Steely Man, but shout out to you. I think people just say that we'll stay up. There's no justification for it. There is, Steely Man, because there's still 3 teams worse than us in the league. So it doesn't matter what's happened in the last 2 games. I mean, overall in the season, I keep hearing about Leicester being too good to go down. This is like 30 plus games in the season, people. If they were too good to go down, and we're saying like after the 12th, 13th game, I can understand. But Leicester, again, yes, they played Man City, and that can happen to anyone. But I've not seen anything from Leicester to say that they're going to jump above us. But the problem is now that after these results that we've had against Palace and Liverpool, the teams below us will rightfully look at us and go, we can get these guys in the bottom 3. We can drag these guys into the bottom 3 and they can take our place. They will 100% be thinking that. Karen here saying Nanto needs to start against Fulham and Verber if match fit. 100%. Got to. Jed here saying Camille save a first shot on goal. You see, Jed, when I mention this stuff though, Jed, do you know how many people think I'm being so harsh on the guy? I just hope that whoever's rating this guy at 30 million pounds, they're blaming the defense for these goals going in, because if we can get 30 million for this guy in the summer and replace him for a better goalkeeper, and you can for much less. We've got to do it, people. Got to. I will maintain Melier will be a top goalkeeper one day. He will. He will absolutely be a top goalkeeper one day, but it's not anytime soon. He's got a lot of work to do. 100 appearances plus in the Premier League, and he still looks like a baby out of water. Can't do this. And we're going to talk about the goals, people. We will talk about them, but we've got to hope that whoever's rating these players so highly, along with Harrison too, that they stay highly rated. Because if they're watching performances, their value is going to come crashing down. Mook's here saying, KG, sick of losing. Please, losing is 1-0. That's one of my pet peeves. Losing is just 1-0, people. Mate, our defense is crap. 10 goals in 2 games. Did you see the board's faces? Well, and a word that I will not say, but please read it out to yourselves, people. Yeah, I saw their faces. They looked as what the hell's going on, as Javi Gracia did yet again, second game in a row. And the one thing I said in the preview, people, if you remember, is that Javier Gracia has got to learn from his mistakes, and he hasn't learned from them. We're still seeing players getting more minutes on the pitch when they're not doing anything than and then benching some of our better players. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. We're in a relegation fight, people. We're not in mid-table just trying to just coast the season away and get to the beach and get to the summer and then reset for the summer. We're in a fight here, and he's making wrong decisions like this. And I said, please learn from your mistakes. Go back to the video. I said it. I said, you've got to learn from your mistakes. He's not learned from his mistakes tonight, I'm afraid. Uh, I mean, here, Duck, great question. Why does our shape collapse after just one goal? Because they're low on confidence, Duck. We've always known, it at this club that confidence is key here, especially at Elland Road, where it should work for us, but sometimes it works against us. And you saw it, didn't you? Once that goal went in, all the shape, the confidence, it all went away. Yet again, it's just unacceptable, people. I'm really trying to get through this as politely as possible, but I'm really mad after what I've seen tonight. You'd never believe we're in a relegation battle. You'd think that we were just on the beach ready for the summer to come. You really would. SB saying, why wasn't JB even on the bench? And this is what I would say to the person that is even suggesting. I don't know if you're a troll or not, but I'm going to just say it anyway, because I'm sure there's other people that agree with you, talking about starting Adam Forshaw. JB, if you're going to give somebody else a shot, give one of our young guns a shot like JB. It's not about being in a relegation battle and you need seasoned veterans. We can get any seasoned veteran. We can get any 34-year-old from League One. Doesn't mean that they should play. JB's got a chance of doing something creative. He's got legs on him. He'll do something with the ball. He'll manipulate the ball. He'll put through a through pass. Seen it in the under 21s many times. He's too good for that level. Let's see what he can do now. Can he be our Lavia? But we don't give these guys a chance, man. We don't give these guys opportunities. You know, we'd rather wheel out Adam Forshaw. For what reason? I don't know. Mr. P saying, I can no longer enjoy our games as a bright star always seems to finish in a defeat these days. I know it's like you're just waiting for it, isn't it? It's like you're waiting for the collapse to happen. Shall we go through the goals, people? Shall we do that? I mean, I cannot believe we're almost 20 minutes in. My head's gone again, as you can imagine. And I hope people can understand that. Just like against the Palace one, I'm aware when my head is absolutely frizzled, and it's frizzled now. I'm absolutely I'm fuming with this one. Honestly, it doesn't matter that it's Liverpool, people. I need people to separate the two, that it's Liverpool when we're not expected to win, which is garbage. I gave you the stat already in terms of who they haven't beat out the top 6 this season alone away from home, and that includes Forest, who are below us, by the way. I just we gift everybody everything, man. I'm just sick of it, man. I'm absolutely sick of it. RP saying we're all shocked, KG. Well done, and thank you for doing this. No, and listen, you know what? Thank you guys for joining me today. I haven't even done all the usual YouTube stuff yet again, but please hit a like on the video. Best way to support the channel, and subscribe if you want to, man. But yeah, let's go through it. Let's go through it, man. So now, yeah, 15 goals in the last 4 games conceded. Um, let's have a look. Hold on there. Let me just get this here because it mentions Lavia, who I've just mentioned. Simple Sai, I believe that's your name, right? It's true Lavia got his chance, but he's better than JB, and also he's at the team at the bottom of the league. He's better than JB because we've seen a good amount of work from him. We don't know what JB's got in the locker. This is the point I'm trying to make, Sai. He could be. I'm not saying that he's better than Lavia. We don't know. He could be as good though. He could be serviceable, but he's not getting opportunities. But and why? Like in the game like this, when you're seeing Forshaw come on, I'd rather see Lavia come on instead. Forshaw's got no business being a Premier League footballer. It's funny when if we have certain names on our starting team sheet, it almost looks like a championship stroke League One team. And I'm really and truly not being over the top here. I'm being serious. If you see certain names on our team sheet, you'd think that it's a championship team sheet. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to bring on Adam Forshaw at any point in the game. But at what was it, 5-1 down? Forget about it, man. Forget about it. Um, the Marching On podcast here. KGR subs must be sat there wondering why they aren't getting on until the games did. Yeah, I talked about Nanto. You know, for all the slack that Jorginho's getting, please tell me what this guy's supposed to do at 4-1 down. What is he going to do at 4-1 down? Someone tell me all the slack that this guy keeps getting, and I think it is misdirected hate because it should be going to the person recruiting him, not Jorginho. He's doing anything and everything he can. I've seen him on his training videos, in terms of his training videos and everything else, trying to work out, doing all that kind of stuff. He's putting in the work, but he's not getting minutes until we're like 4 or 5 down. What is he supposed to do in that instance? Um, Mad Mick here saying Forshaw in our squad is absolutely insane. Even worse, that is Gracia put him ahead of Nanto. Nanto needs to start. Yeah, 100%. Steely Man here again. So, KG, your argument is that we're not in the bottom three. We are not in the bottom three worst teams. Okay. Yep. But with this lack of confidence, how do you expect us to turn things around and start getting some points? Steely Man, I'm not the manager. That's not for me to decide. That's for Javi Gracia, who's on a flexible deal. Okay. That's not for me to answer. What I'm trying to say to you though is everyone, whenever we lose a game, is we're going down. That's always the thing. But you know who's also saying that? Teams in the bottom three right now. There's Leicester fans saying that they're gone. They're a joke of a team. There's Leicester fans calling into shows saying they've got no fight, no this, no nothing. Okay. There's Southampton fans that have just lost at home to Palace themselves, but not by 5-1. They're also saying that they're terrible. Guys, when we lose games, it's always that we're one of the worst 3 teams in the league. And I do believe we are one of the worst in terms of that, whether it's mentally or via footballing ability. We are one of the worst teams. The league table don't lie, but the league table is also telling me that we're not one of the worst 3 teams right now, even after 2 absolute pumpings at home. So we've lost 5-1 and 6-1 at home, and yet we're still not in the bottom 3. There's reasons for that. Forest haven't won a game in 10. Steely Man and everyone else. There's reasons why we're not in the bottom 3. But if they don't buck up their ideas, we will be there soon. We absolutely will be there soon, Steely Man and everyone else. We still haven't even talked about the goals. Are we trying to avoid this, people? Are we trying to avoid talking about the goals? I've just got a couple more super chats I've got to read out before they go. Thank you for the support, people. Honestly, the best thing about the night is chopping it up with you guys, honestly. Mooks is saying, why are we taking off Rads for Rutter when he was 32 million? What an absolute waste of money. Eamon is saying, in serious danger of falling out with this manager now. They will need a double-decker bus to drive this lot away in the summer. Julio saying, Robin Cock post-match made me sad. You can visibly see his distress. I hope Gracia can get this fixed. Cock wasn't good today yet again. He wasn't good himself. Mr. P saying, I heard that it's auto-picking the team. That way you can justify signings. Okay, made that up, but you might as well be. Team selection is woeful. Yeah. Yeah, and Rene here, I'm sad about the goal difference collapse. Me too. Yeah, CB, what goals? We got let's talk about them, people. Let's talk about them. just a question for everyone in the live chat now. If after you saw the ball today, would it surprise you if Gracia was gone tomorrow? I'm just putting it out. I'm not saying that he should be gone, but I'm saying, would it surprise you after these um couple of defeats, and the heavy defeats, people, they're very, very heavy. Would it surprise you if we're in with another manager this season? Yeah, Kalen, I'm going to get to it. I think we might have given a gift to Curtis Jones today. Got an assist. He did, and it was a nice assist. But it was disgraceful. That was from a throw in, people. Oh, you know what? Let's go through these numerically because I'm all over the gaff. I'm all over the gaff, people. I'm like our defense. All right, so 1-0. All right, Gakpo. It was obvious. Gakpo was on a revenge tour today. It was obvious he was going to score. Storylines like us, I told you, innit? Bamford against Forest, he don't score against his hometown team, the team he supports. Gakpo linked with Leeds, looks like it was going to be a done deal. He scores today. You know how it goes. You know how it goes, people. We're always in for the storyboard against us. But yeah, that handball today, people. Let's talk about it. Come with me in the chat. I know this is all over the gaff. Chat is hot. I'm hot. Let's try and go in the goals now. That handball was handball, people. And in the position we're in, when that kind of thing goes against you, especially with some of the mentality of some of these players, it was obviously going to make some of their heads drop. But that was handball. Now we can talk about VAR, who didn't overrule it. I believe it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it wasn't Trent that scored from that instance. So it doesn't matter. They changed that rule. I think they changed it at the start of the year. But regardless, forget VAR in this. The referee wasn't. I made sure I looked as well because I wanted to make sure about this. The referee saw that completely. He saw it with his own eyes. There was no one blocking him in his way. He saw Trent move his arm towards the ball. That is handball, people. Like that. That is 100% handball. I- If you know what, if the ball had just hit him where it did underneath his elbow without him moving his arm, I can accept that, and I can definitely accept that. But he moved it forward, people. That's handball. So that shouldn't have even happened. All right. But, and then let's talk. Gakpo was unmarked by, this is a common theme tonight. All right. It's a common theme. So be ready for it. Trent Alexander then plays him in and he taps it in as easy as you like 1-0. Okay. Yeah. I mean, everyone is saying it's handball. Yeah. And Henderson clearly pullbacks in it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, those things, it's true that should have happened. But yeah, Aney, we need that double manager bounce. We do. We need another. It's not even double, is it? We had Skubala for a bit, remember? Dave White here saying poor touch by Firpo. Though. Yeah, listen, let me just get this out of the way because I've defended Firpo, yeah, but today wasn't one of his better days. It was a poor day from Firpo. But even in that instant, man, that's like I don't want to make the comparison to what I'm thinking there, but that's you can't just say it's a poor touch. The fact is, it was handball. All right. You know what I mean? It was handball. Doesn't matter that he kicked it into Trent or whatever it was. He handballed it. So regardless of what you're saying there, it should have been a free kick to us, and then they can't counter off that, can they? But and no, Ian, no, not so 5-1 instead of 6. No, because if that first goes in, the other goals don't happen the way they do because you have to restart play. I'm big on that. I'm big on that, but that's why I see football just a little bit differently. But yeah, the second goal though, people, 4 minutes later. McKennie gets dispossessed as we're trying to attack. He got the ball pinched off him by Jota. Guys, there was so much to do for Jota from that point to get to the goal to Salah. There was so much that could have been done to prevent it. But Robin Kaku, somebody said, was looking dejected. He's backing off, backing off. It was 3 versus 3, people. It was 3 versus 3. Okay? It was 3 versus 3. And Jota just runs through. I think Robin Cock myself. I think he was the closest one to him. He should have gone towards Jota and took him out for a tactical yellow because it wouldn't have been a red card because Strout was there. And now we got to talk about Pascal because he was nowhere near Salah. I don't know what he was doing. He was just watching Salah run. Jota slips it into Salah, and now we've got to speak about Melier. Melier, I need you, and I want you guys' opinions on this. Okay, this is about you. You know, Melier was in the middle of his goal and he's sidestepping, sidestepping, sidestepping. Salah hits it quite early because Strauch is nowhere near him at all, and it goes in on the near post. But something I mentioned in the preview, please go back. I'm not making this up. That's the beauty of doing these things on video. Melier, yet again, it, could he have saved it? I don't know. But the thing wasn't in the corner of the goal. It was more. It was out of the corner. So he's already in the middle of the goal, sidestepping to the corner, and he still doesn't get there. First shot on target, first goal. What are we saying, people? Please let me know. Am I being harsh on that first one? Let me know. Yeah, Dave, that was my thought. What Dave's saying here, it was poor positioning from Millier. That is my feeling on it, honestly. But I understand if you got a different opinion. No way. Ben saying his starting position was all wrong. Wait a minute. Okay, Glenn, you're usually a regular contributor to this, but I'm gonna block you after this. So enjoy yourself on another show. But a blind spot for black players? Are we really gonna try and pull the race card against me? Glenn, I literally just said Furpo had a shocking game. I also said that Strauch was poor. But you know what? Sometimes people just hear what they want to hear. Glenn, you gotta go, mate. Sorry, can't accept stuff like that. Certainly not on this platform. You gotta go. Um, yeah, off you pop. Um, Ian saying, I thought he was supposed to be a good shot stopper. Where's that gone? He is, Ian. And again, I will continue to defend him on that. When it's a one-on-one, when someone's bearing down on Melier, he can be trusted. He can be trusted on the most part. It's when there's defenders in front or around him that his positioning is just off. And we saw it multiple times tonight. Yeah, poor. Yeah, everyone just say bye to Glenn. It's all good, people. It's all good. When you do this kind of stuff on YouTube, people, you get more good comments than not. That's why I'm not going to go in hard on Glenn because there's more people that give me much more love than things like that. So just wave him on his way. Goodbye. Have a good day. You know what I mean? AFV, KG, who would you keep if we stay up? We're going to do that at the end of the season, but the list ain't long. I'm going to tell you that for sure. John saying McKennie was poor, not aware of approaching players and lost the ball easily. It was a poor one where he lost it. But again, on that one where he loses possession, there is so much time and so much stuff to do for Jota to do before that goal's conceded. It could have been prevented, and all it takes as well is just a simple tactical yellow card, and no one did it. No one engaged with him, and not engaging with the attacker is a common theme in some of these goals. We then get a goal after halftime, after zero changes at halftime. By the way, people, Sinistera dispossessed Kanate, who I actually think is okay. I think he's actually a pretty good defender. In all fairness, Kanate, he's somebody that I think is pretty decent. But Cine robbed him, and the composure and the tact for Cine just to chip it over on Russian Allison was beautiful. And you're thinking 2-1. All right, then let's see what you guys are about. Let's see what you're going to give to us, guys. 4 minutes later, it's 3-1. Yeah, Lewis, that's what I'm saying. Adams would have taken that yellow easily. That's what I'm saying. It's things like that you miss from Tyler Adams. He's aware of all that stuff. He'll do that. McKennie would have been up there anyway. Adams would have been sitting back. Adams would have pulled that guy back regardless. He would have tripped him over. It's that kind of stuff. And the thing is, you're not even thinking about that McKennie mistake. That's the thing. That McKennie mistake happens 10 times a game where you lose the ball upfield. Liverpool did it quite a lot in the first half themselves. They were losing it. Like Robertson, he was losing the ball quite a lot today, in today's game, in the first half, I should say. But no, we didn't capitalize on it, so we don't have to talk about it. That's the thing. Things like that shouldn't be. You shouldn't be conceding goals from mistakes of losing the ball way upfield. Um, Darren here. Oh, sorry, Darian. Sorry about that. Not having Adams really makes the mentality suffer and the physical nature in midfield. 100%. That's why I was saying when he was out and everyone just thought it was verbal. I said, nah, man, you downplaying what Tyler Adams is all about. And the problem was it was more reactionary because we had just beaten Wolves and everyone thought that Rucker and McKennie could just hold the fort. But there's different games, there's different tactics, different systems, different players, and Wolves play a certain type of way. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Jimmy saying, I can't believe all these people on here missing Adams when they were lighting him up 5 weeks ago. Oh, I didn't see that, man. Listen, towards before he got injured, he wasn't at his like optimum best, but you can see what we miss when he's out. Anyway, 3-1. Let's talk about that because it came from a throw in, people. And I was just thinking when I saw it, that's kind of goals you see in like under 10s football. Someone throws it in, simple ball. I mean, it wasn't a simple ball, to be fair, but you're talking about two players here in both Jota and Curtis Jones who are being hammered for whatever it is, lack of form, coming back from injury, or not being good enough. And we've given them a lovely assist, and then Jota scores. Guys, yeah, it's tough to talk about this one today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. But much like Cine lofted it over Melier, Jota, sorry, Cine lofted it over Allison, Jota lifted it over Melier, and it was 3-1. It's like, here, you've been struggling for some GA. Here's a goal, here's an assist. Love you, love you. Enjoy your gifts. I know, Mr. P. Yeah, conceded from a throw in. That's when I gave up. I know, crazy, crazy. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna shout out to Joe. Jared saying big up to Joe for doing the watch long painful 2 hours. Yeah, I don't usually do stuff like that, but yeah, because I have thought about doing watch alongs and I was thinking of doing one for the Palace game, and I'm just glad I didn't. I'm just glad I didn't because yeah, I don't know if I'd still be on air right now. One of them. But yeah, so that's 3-1, and it's just poor, isn't it? And I've got a note there: 3 shots on targets, 3 goals for Liverpool. I thought I might stop doing that note there, but alas, I didn't. 4-1, and I'm gonna be fair because you know me, I'm a football man. It was a beautiful counter attack. It was a wonderful goal, wasn't it? Their fourth goal, if you can remember it, if you can remember it, people. Um, Salah from a Robertson, who was he was the main architect of that, and he was making our players look real slow. Go back and have a look. Go back and have a look at that goal. Robertson just sped past. I think it was Robin Koch. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But the ball found its way to Gakpo, unchallenged, unmarked. Don't engage with Gakpo on the edge. He just laid it across the Salah, who then slotted it in. 4 goals, 4 shots on target, 4 goals. People. Um, I think have I missed? Laporte here saying, is Willie fit? Seems to have lost something. Wondering if it's the confidence. Javi obviously doesn't have it in him, and that's translating to his performances. Laporte, I would say this to everyone, and Laporte has made a great point here. And surely everyone can understand this because I know I've been in this situation. When you've got a manager that doesn't believe in you, or a manager that just doesn't get on with you for whatever reason, you two don't vibe together, whatever it is, you don't want to play for this guy. You're not happy at work. Think about it in a regular workplace. You're not happy at work. And I've done it. I know I've done it. When I've been with a manager that has been brilliant, I can't wait to get to work sometimes. I'm like, this is going to be a good day. I don't care if it's Monday. We're going to have a good day because we've got a good team, good leadership here. But if for whatever reason you've got a manager that doesn't get on with you for whatever reason it is, it sours your work environment, no matter who you are. So, and that could be it as well, Laporte, in terms of that. There's got to be something because you cannot tell me there's any other reason for benching not Nanto. There just can't be. Um, what are we saying here? Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. So I'm on 4. Let me just get through these goals, people, please. Uh, I mentioned here with Somerville and Rutter coming on at 4-1. Taking the mick. You taking the mick. Rodrigo and Aronson come off after 66 minutes. Maybe Rodrigo was more for fitness reasons that he couldn't complete the 90, and I hear that. But come on, man, 4-1. What are you expecting these guys to do? Seriously? Um, and then I already mentioned it earlier, but Somerville in 3 minutes did more than Harrison did in 70. And it should have been a corner, by the way, if anyone remembers that at 4-1, but who really cares at 4-1? We should have got a corner from that. 5-1. I mean, this was just embarrassing, people. This was really embarrassing. The fifth goal. I mean, like the others weren't embarrassing, but they may as well have not been there. There was no engagement whatsoever from Henderson crossing it into Jota to Jota shinning it past Melier for the fifth shot on target, fifth goal for Liverpool. There was zero engagement from the defense. Not one person from the cross to the shot engaged with any of the two Liverpool attackers. Couldn't believe what I was watching, and that's when I kind of turned off. People, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's when I kind of just switched off and went, This is appalling." This and I'm being polite there with what I'm saying. I made a note there, ha ha ha, for sure. Yeah, I did. Cine injured, taking a shot, and then Sinister and Harrison both coming off at 76 for Nonto and Forshaw. Again, bringing on Nonto at 5-1 down, taking the mick, absolutely taking the mick. I'm sorry, no excuses for that. And then 6-1 Nunes, through ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I did say as well in the preview, in terms of Nunes, he often gets like a lot of stick for his finishing. It's easy against Melier at the moment. You just have to get it on target, and it's a goal. That's the truth right now. That's the cold truth of people that defend Melier to the hill. And I get it. I still like the guy. I still feel like he's going to be a top goalkeeper one day. But this is when goalkeepers stand out. This is when, like, your Nick Popes previously stand out. Ben Foster in times past. Joe Hart at Birmingham City. These are when your goalkeepers stand out and say, you know what, I can keep you in this. I can do that for you. We're not getting anything from this guy. But I can't really fully put it on him because the defense was woeful today. Koch, Strauch, all of them. Furpo, all of them. Christiansen today, it wasn't like he was a disaster, but it's decisions like playing an attacker on side. These things don't help, and we need all the help we can get. Tim here saying, if we by miracle we stayed up, I think we'll be favourites for relegation next season. If the makeup of the squad stays the way it is, 100% we'll be one of the favourites, and we should be. We absolutely should be one of the favourites if we stay with this makeup of the squad. Yeah, 100. Yeah, Blinky Fish. This is true. Yeah, Melier not great, but the defense in front of him are rubbish. 100%, 100%. But at times, though, you just wish your goalkeeper could make that save. And the problem is, it happens for other teams. You know, you saw even Nottingham Forest. They lost against Man United. Did you see the work Navas was putting in? Did you see the work that he was putting in to make sure that score stayed down? Like, he was like Superman in that game. He was making some saves that he shouldn't have been making. Like, he was making some absolutely world class saves. Now, Melier is not world class. I get it. But this guy's tall as hell. He can reach some of those. That's why I'm talking about the first goal with Salah, where it's near post, but it's not in the corner. You know what I mean? Your goalkeepers can make you saves and keep you in games. Tim is saying, our goalkeeping coach needs to go. Melier never commands area corners. He's atrocious. Yeah, this goalkeeper coach that we've had from I think since Victor Water's been here, a bad. He's a bad all right. He's a bad all right. Steely Man again. Steely Man, why do I get all your notifications? I need to know. Have you bugged me or something? Why? I was actually hoping they get 6. Oh, no. Why? Because I want Gracia gone. Okay, let me read on. I just thought a second thrashing might force him out. We need 100% passion for the rest of the season. Gracia is not getting that. Damn, yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying, Steely Man, but just for me, I can never, no matter what, I can never wish for a heavy defeat for my team. Just like I don't wish any injuries on players that I don't want to see play. I just can't do it, man. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. Um, David Harwood here saying Robles couldn't be any worse. I don't know. Minerals FC, which is quite apropos considering we're not showing that we've got any minerals right now. But thank you, Minerals. KG, as an outsider, you're better than Forest, Everton, Leicester, Southampton. You'll be fine. But this is it, Minerals. We're doing exactly what we're doing last season. We are hoping that everybody else is worse than us. And it is so draining to do that all weekend. And I'm guilty of it more than anybody, people. All weekend, I've been looking at other people's results. I guess the only one that went against us was Bournemouth because we're hoping that they stay in the conversation. But everyone else losing, it was like, we can go into this with no pressure. But there's ways of losing people. If we had lost today 3-1, let's say, you go, damn, that sucks. Let's go again. But the fact that we've conceded 6, it now goes into the next game territory. For all the people that love to say free hit, like it doesn't matter, this now goes into confidence territory for the players in the next game versus Fulham. How confident are these guys? Do they feel that if they're playing well for 20 minutes that they're going to maintain it? Can they sustain that kind of intense playing? I don't know if they're going to have the confidence to do it, but they're going to have to find it. They're going to have to find it. Steely man saying, no, I haven't hacked your channel, but thanks for listening to my prattle. Love you, vids. Love you. Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everybody. Venelin, I hope I've said that right, Venelin. KG, you walk into Grouch's job tomorrow. What do you change in defense? Guy has limited options. He does, but we are poor defensively, Venelin. So let's go 3 at the back. It's not ideal, but we're getting carved open anyway. So the extra midfield or whatever he thinks he's getting from Brendan Aronson pressing from the front, just put another centre back in there. It's going to be a subpar centre back, Venelin, but we need more protection. And you saw up until we conceded the first goal, we did okay. We was doing okay defensively. The bodies were back, but once the floodgates open, Venelin and everyone else, it's over. It's over. Well, yeah, Steve G. This is the Feel Sorry Club. Yeah, yeah. Who knows? No, man. No. Who knows? Not Gerard. Not Gerard. No, thank you. Buey here saying in response to that, 3 at the back would work. KG, Furpo, and Rasmus are natural win backs, and they are natural win backs. That's where they're more comfortable. And you would just hope, and I say this with everything, you would hope if with 3 centre backs that they'd have a bit more protection. But you saw today, I'm sorry, but the Robin Cock thing on that second goal, where he's just drifting back, stepping back, instead of just going forward and just run into Jota. I mean, just smash into him, like Roy Keane said. Just smash into him. Make yourself feel better. Just smash into him. But he backed off, and Strout wasn't even marking Salah. It was a horror show today, absolute horror show. Julio saying Leeds United therapy. I'm a member. We're all members now. We're seasoned in this. We're seasoned in this. And Ben saying, I heard the crowd turning again. And do you blame them? You can't blame them, can you? It's awful. It's diabolical what we're seeing. People always go on the crowd for bad performances or you should get up more. The players can help that. The players can do something. How about Harrison? How about you take on a few people? Aronson, stay on your feet, God damn it. You know what? I'm not against Aronson. I will always maintain that. I still think that there's a player there. But we saw it again today with him running into people, hoping that he's going to get a free kick. He's got to cut that out. And I'm tired of saying that every week, but he's got to cut it out. The referees talk. They all talk to each other. They know what you're trying to do. You're trying to win cheap free kicks. And I tell you who I saw, and even though it's a different level, but please bear with me here. James McAtee at Sheffield United, small, diminutive. But you know what he does? He goes round players. He'll play in between players. He doesn't just run into him hoping that he's going to get a free kick. That's what you do when you're a smaller player. I'm not going to try and, say Messi here. I'm talking about that's how you use your size to your advantage. You're not the biggest, use it to your advantage. But instead, he's just running into people hoping that he's going to get cheap free kicks. It's not happening. I don't know how many times we can keep saying this as well. Let me just see. There was a comment here. Let's have a look. Oh, I think I've lost it. Far too many comments, and I'm way behind. Let me just come down a bit. Ah, who knows? He is saying that comment one guy had about you and Black Play as well. What a weirdo. What I will say, who knows, is that there's more people like yourself and more people that are brilliant with your comments. So don't worry about him. Honestly, don't worry about that at all. Um, Seamus here. I mean, yeah, I see the first sentence and I'm with you already. KG, it's totally joyless being a Leeds fan. We get nothing back. All the passion, all the love, all these players are the exact opposite. No passion, no love for the shirt. Disgraceful, heartbroken. Yeah, Seamus, 100%. And you know what? For me, Seamus, I've always maintained, and I think Leeds fans more than anyone should know this, especially when we had one of our best eras in recent memories, just ripped away from us when we was in financial difficulties. That it doesn't matter if they don't want to play for Leeds in terms of that, if it's not their first choice, as long as they give us performances. I mean, with these guys, it's just so hit and miss. More misses, by the way, from the amount of wins we've had over the past 2 years. I just want a good football team again. Again, I've got the Champions League squad as my background, just to remind me that we were good once upon a time. I was hoping to give you the stat today that it's our first double over Liverpool since we're in the Champions League, but no, no joy there. No joy. Minerals again saying, KG, to be fair, there's no shame in losing to Liverpool. Minerals, it's not that though. I don't know how long you've been on the stream, but I gave stats out that Forest got something against Liverpool at home, Everton, Bournemouth. It's always us that has to be the outlier. You know what I mean? It's always us that has to be the one. And it's not even like we lost 1-1-2, 3-1, 6-1 minerals in our position right now. So there is a little bit of shame there. Let me just see. I'm so behind on comments. Let me just scroll down. Let me just scroll down now. Okay, yeah. Close Shave with a super chat. Thank you, Close Shave. Making my first trip to Elland Road next week for the Leicester game. Was really looking forward to it. Now I'm dreading it. See, Leicester, people asking me about teams that are terrible. Leicester are one of those. That's a game that we have to win. But we've got Fulham first. And, up until Fulham beat Everton away from home, they were in a bit of a slippy patch of form. And, they've gone to Everton and Dan James performed well there. Harry Wilson woke up. But we've got to go to Fulham and use that as a game that we try and get 3 points from. We have to. If we're not targeting Fulham away for wins, then I don't know what we're doing here. Thomas here saying Melier looks more like Kiko Casilla every game. Damn, that made me laugh, man. God damn it. Julio saying, I know Jesse wasn't the best tactically, but what he was good at is motivating. I do not see anyone lighting fires under these players' behinds. Yeah, Julio, I will say that Jesse, that is his management style. It's motivation, but it was drying up towards the end. You could see it wasn't working anymore, and even he was getting stressed. He was starting to say things in press conferences that was even making me go, you don't need to say that. I mean, and I'll give you an example just so I don't leave it open ended. Stuff like, I've never known an obsession in until I came to England about goals being scored at the back post. When you said that, Jesse, I said, you know what, man, nah, you can't say stuff like that. How many times do you see back post goals? It shouldn't even be a question. The fact that he found that surprising, Julio and everyone else, was enough. There's a thing of calling saying too much, and he did quite a few times. Um, Martin R here, who's an older fan who I always appreciate, because they'll always tell me about the Champions League runs and then say, "Well, I saw us win a league," and I'm like, salute to you. Martin R saying, "I feel sorry for you young guns. At least I remember the 1970, 1992, and 2001 teams. Yeah, I was there for the 2001 team. Great times. The guys behind me. What an era. We're so far away from that." And I always just remind people, I'm not looking for this for these guys and looking back at Premier League years and saying, man, I wish we had these players back. I wish we had Lee Boy back. I want the new set to come in now and be the new ones that take us into Europe again. I want a new set of Leeds United football players to look at and go, I can compare him to to Lee Boy. I can compare him to Harry Kewell. I can compare him to Olivier Decourt. But at this moment in time, I can't compare any of these guys to those players because they can't even lace their boots. Man, guys, what else are we saying here? I can't believe we're going this long. This has definitely been. Has this been therapy, people? Is it working for you? Because I'm a little bit better than I was at the start. Quinn's dude, I always like it when it starts with "You won't like this, cage." I always think that there's some kind of troll coming here, but I'll read it anyway. Quinn's dude is saying, because I recognize your name, Quinn's dude. You won't like this, cage, but the way things are, and how we've gone backwards from all he did, I'd rather have gone down. Mm. Quinn's dude, no, relegation isn't something that you should be happy to go down with. And Quinn's dude, it's all sounds so simple with that, doesn't it, Quinn's dude? I'd rather have gone down with Bielsa. Bielsa weren't staying, Quinn's dude. He wasn't going to stay past the summer. So if we'd gone down, we'd have gone down without the manager that you wanted us to go down with. It makes zero sense to me with what you're saying there. There's so many other factors that go into it. We're going to have to go again with new players. Are the new players going to sign for us, even if Bielsa had stayed? Who knows? He wasn't going to stay again for another championship run. It was already decided that he was leaving in the summer. We just had to fast track it because at that time we were setting records in February for conceding the most league goals in Premier League history. Quinn's dude, that's the reality. Sorry, Quinn's dude, if you're looking for rose tinted glasses here, where we look back and then say if things could have been better if he'd stayed, I'm not going to do it. We have 3 magical years under the man. Literally got the club off its knees back into relevancy, but the final season was not good. Was not good, and he died on the sword that he went on. That's what he did. He didn't adjust tactically. He didn't want to adjust his training methods, even though the players were begging for him to do so because it was getting too much. He died on the sword. Let's not rewrite it and say that we would have been in any better position with the guy. I'm sorry. Um, I mean, if he's saying that Bielsa's better, that's a fact. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's a fact that he was better, but he wasn't adaptable. Guys, I need you to remember that there was times where the opposition managers were taking the mick with us. They were literally sending out players to move our centre backs out of position so they could run through because they knew it was a man marking system. Guys, you can't do that in the Prem. You get worked out way too easily. Sorry. Quinzu saying, but okay, but do you agree we haven't moved forward sensibly from him? I do agree with that, Quinzu, but that's on the hiring, isn't it? That's on the hiring, that's on the recruitment. That's got nothing to do with that. It should have been a much smoother transition, 100%. We shouldn't be going backwards. That is true, but that's got nothing to do with Bielsa being here or not. That's on appointments being made, signings being made, signings players not being sold as well. That's also an issue that we've got here. It's a mix of all of that stuff. Um, but yeah. Okay, yeah. Hey, Darren here. Why are we so down, guys? I think we will stay up if we beat Leicester. That's us done. The four below us have very hard games. That's another thing as well, Darren. They do. I mean, Forest have got a horrendous fixture list, but I often don't go by the fixture list at this point because everyone is fighting and clawing for everything. So there's always going to be a shock result here and there somewhere. Otherwise, we could just lock the league off now and go home for the summer. But there's going to be a few more twists and turns, a few more swapping of positions. But Darren is correct. The teams below us do have harder fixtures, but we're making this hard for ourselves at the same time, Darren. Losing 5-1 at home to Palace, losing 6-1 at home to this version of Liverpool. Yeah, and we've got to go into a game now against Fulham, who have gone out of their slump that they're in by beating Everton 3-1 away. So now they're going to be on a little bit of a high. It's just the way that it goes. But Darren is right, and that's why I maintain I can't say that we're going to go down at this point, but I wish we'd make it easier. I mean, the fact that we haven't hit 30 points is embarrassing. I was saying this earlier to my partner. The fact that we haven't got 30 points at this stage of the season is it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Steely man here again. You know what, Steely, I'm gonna adjust this. Remember the cricket scores would be also at the end. I'm more worried about that starting up with Gracia. Should Gracia be trusted to see us through until the end? Great question. Great question. Um, I didn't expect to have so much Bielsa talk in this one, but here we are. Leeds 1-2 saying Bielsa is an arrogant man. I wouldn't say he was arrogant, Leeds 1-2, but he had methods, and he had methods for over 30 years of coaching. And for him to adjust at that point, I remember the video, I think it was mid January before he got sacked. And I said on here, I just realized that the guy isn't going to adjust his method. He's not going to change. No matter how much I want him to, he's not going to do it because he's used to these methods. They worked for him for 20, 30 years. He's not going to change. So he is going to go out on the sword that he's currently, yielding. And that's what happened. I don't think it was arrogance. I think it was just that he had plan A. And if it wasn't work, he'll just try and make it better. And unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen. So that's it. It is on you, Quins, dude. It is on you. But no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, CJ lad, not arrogant, just stubborn. Yeah, stubborn. I would say stubborn is definitely a fairer word. Definitely. Because the guy wasn't arrogant. If he was arrogant, he wouldn't share like 3 million of wages around him and his staff, would he? That's not arrogance to me. That's looking after your people. And I rate that. Um Billow here with another Bielsa one. Bielsa made us look good. Once he left, we found out our castle was made of sand, and he also wasn't backed. Once again, though, Bill, we're rewriting narratives because he was offered players. Now, whether they were of the standard or not, I don't know because we don't know the names that he was officially offered, but he was offered players, and we always knew he likes a small squad. That's something that we have to remember as well, and it's something that he always made clear. Any extra players around the place can make an unhappy camp, so he always wanted a small squad. So we have to we you can't start rewriting stuff. He wasn't backed. He was backed. He got Dan James in the end, and look what that did for us. Yeah, I mean, Dan James was on his list for a long time. Him and Orta had scouted this guy intensely, thought they could get him to the next level. We spent almost 30 million on him. He was backed with players that he wanted to get. But then he also had unwavering faith in the current players that he had, and he wouldn't adjust from them. And I always said it on here, which people didn't agree with. But once the running left some of these players, they weren't technical enough to survive a regular football plan and it came to fruition. I'm afraid. Ex Ben saying, "Don't go. We need more therapy." I got nothing else to give, Ben. I got I got I got nothing else to give. I got nothing left to give. I'm afraid. David saying Bielsa was not back with signings, but Dan James was one. And if you remember at that time as well, we were crying out for a central midfielder, and it was apparent, it was rumored that we had no money to spend, and then we got near 30 million to Man United for Dan James. So there you go. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Have I got anything else to say? This is this is painful. This is really really painful, man. I got nothing else, people. I think I'm done. As I say, I'll be back with another stream at some point. Um, yeah, yeah, that is one that he was offered, Sam Harry Winks, and he was right to turn that down. You and I can do what Harry Winks can do, Sam. You know what I mean? Don't know what condition you're in, Sam, but you and I can do what Harry Winks could do. Um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, and I'll be back at some point, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Wednesday. We're gonna have to touch on this again and see where we go. Talk a bit more Gracia and just get a bit more clarity because obviously your head's foggy after a defeat like this. Leeds 1, Liverpool 6. Best things you can do, guys, and listen. Shout out to everyone with that submitted super chats today. If I missed any, I apologize. Obviously, the chat's been going quite mad today. Please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and leave your comments afterwards. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, people. See you. Peace out.